Honor, Seth Roman and Holly Wilkinson be on behalf of Gina Clark.
Probation, has probation done an intake?
We have not.
This minute, please. Clerk, I guess.
Counsel, do you waive formal reading of the indictments?
Yes, Mr. Clerk.
Gina M. Clark. On March 25th, 2011, the grand jurors for Barnstable County returned 32 indictments against you. How did you plead to indictments number 2011-34-01 through 16, each charging with a count of larceny over $250? How do you plead to each and every indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-34-17, charging you with fraud, gross fraud, how do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-34-18, charging you with setting up or promoting a lottery, how do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictments number 2011-34-19 through 28, charging you with 10 indictments of employing failing to pay the minimum wage, how do you plead to each and every indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-34-29 and 30, charging you with failing to play overtime, how do you plead to each indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-34-31, charging you with failing to give a pay stub, how do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-34-32, charging you with misclassification of an independent contractor, how do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Question of bail.
Your Honor, I've spoken to Attorney Roman, who's asking that the court provide Ms. Clark with a bail warning. Ms. Clark is going to agree to stay away and have no contact with the witnesses in this particular case, which are provided in the grand jury minutes. Also, Ms. Clark is going to refrain from any charitable fundraising during the pendency of this case.
Well, I'm going to insist upon a 27687 pretrial probation contract, which will be monitored by our probation department. Any objection to that, Attorney Roman?
No objection.
All right, so what I'm going to do is have the terms and conditions of release listed in a contract. You can explain that to Ms. Clark. We'll put it on for brief further call, because I want to review those conditions with her, because in the event that she violated any of those conditions, I would take that to be a violation of the conditions of the release, which would subject her to incarceration for a minimum of 60 days. Make sure you explain that to her.
I will.
Right, now, with respect to the corporation, are you filing your appearance with respect to the corporation?
Yes, I have.
All right, let's go through the arraignment on that and at this time.
Counsel, are you empowered to act in this criminal proceeding on behalf of the corporation?
Yes, Mr. Clerk.
Have you filed an appearance on that, Attorney Roman?
I have.
All right.
Touched by Angels, Inc., the grand jurors for Barnstable County returned 28 indictments against it on March 25th, 2011. On indictment numbers 2011-35-1 through 12, charging the corporation with larceny over $250. How does it plead to each and every indictment, guilty or not guilty?
The corporation pleads not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-35-13, charging the corporation with gross fraud, how does it plead, guilty or not guilty?
The corporation pleads not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-35-14, charging the corporation with setting up or promoting a lottery, how does it plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment numbers 2011-35-15 through 24, charging the corporation with failing to pay the minimum wage. How does the corporation plead to each and every indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-35-25 and 26, charging the corporation with failing to pay overtime. How does the corporation plead to each indictment, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On indictment number 2011-35-27, charging the corporation with failing to provide a pay stub. Is it pleading guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Indictment number 2011-35-28, charging the corporation with misclassification of an independent contractor. How does the corporation plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Commonwealth?
Your Honor, there are no requests at this time. I would just add that the Commonwealth has filed its notice of appearance and a statement of the case.
All right. So what I'll do is put it on for brief protocol. I want to review the conditions that are being prepared by probation. As soon as probation has them, we'll review them with both attorneys, Roman and Carney. And put that on for brief protocol.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Call for second call.